Hello, everybody. I would start with an apology to say, oh my gosh, I know you're like, where were you on Monday? Why are we here on Tuesday? Well, surprise, surprise. I don't have one, don't have two, but I have three very, very great recommendations of books that I have finished. They are all romance. They are all by Black authors. And if that's not apology enough, I have a very, very lit week recap of things that I've done this past week. It was crazy. You hear the voice. It's not just the allergies. It was the turntosity. But before we get on all into that, let me just introduce myself for anyone who is new here. My name is Michaela. I go by Black Librarian on all platforms. This is my channel where I talk about this lit library life, where I also discuss the books that I'm reading. I talk about buddy reads, book reads that I've been doing with people. And like I said, the library life that I'm living, being a librarian in the Bay Area, and just the ins and outs of that. If this is not your first time here and you've been supporting, I appreciate you. And I will appreciate you all. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you all just for sticking around with me week after week. But you know what? We might as well just get into the video because we have no time to waste. Let's get into this. Shh, we're in a library. So yes, like I said, I have three romance recommendations, and it was crazy because they all came out of nowhere, and I've been meaning to talk about them because so good. Now, the first book up is The Love Audit by Lucy Eden, and this is not my first read by her. I do not recall the first book, but I will put it up here so you can get reference. When I talk about this book, I love an enemies to lovers trope. I love it when it's a fake marriage in combination. That's what we're getting here. Jasmine and Derek have known each other. They are from well-off families in the Black community who used to work together, but then they split. They haven't seen each other since they were little. Derek's always had a crush on Jasmine, but then when their families kind of like dissolved their business and it got a little messy, you know how families talk. So one side's saying this, the other side's saying that. So Derek has her feelings about Jasmine and Jasmine has her feelings about Derek. So they don't get along anymore until they're trying to fight for this position. And honey, let me tell you, when they're trying to fight for that position and they go on this little vacation, you already know how the scene is set. Oh my gosh, what was supposed to be two twin beds is now a king, and oh, we should share a bed, and maybe we do like each other a little more than we didn't like each other. Very, very good read. Very cute. Gives you all the little vibes. Very steamy. Very steamy. I didn't know Derek had it in him. I gave it a 10 out of 10 because Lucy Eden, in my eyes, can do no wrong. She's 2 for 2 in my book, so 10 out of 10. Must read. Now, I think I was talking about this a little bit before in another video, how I wanted to read Between Friends and Lovers, and how I was going to be finishing it by Shirlene why do I always get her name wrong? Shirlene Obiobi. Yes. Between Friends and Lovers, very, very good. Very, very spicy. You kind of, when you have a crush on a friend that's been your friend for so long, they don't have the same feelings for you. That's kind of how it is for Josephine, who goes by Jo. She's in love with her best friend Ezra, but Ezra doesn't feel the same. So she decides that at 29 years old, she's going to finally go find someone to love her for her, or she's going to lose her virginity, whichever comes first, because she's tired. She already has like this big following. She's also a doctor. Like, she has things going for her. She doesn't want to really go back into the medical field, but she likes her following. It pays the bills, so she wants to date. She meets Malcolm at a party that Ezra's mother is throwing because his mother wants to buy Malcolm's book because Malcolm is a romance writer. And what's funny about him meeting Josephine is that she just wants to hook up, but he's like, no, I'm going to court you. And he treats her like a man is supposed to treat her. And I can't stand books like this because you'll just have like book boyfriends in your mind, and you're just sitting there like, why can't all men be like this? Why can't they take the hits? Why can't they just have emotional intelligence and do all the right things? No, because we live in a very flawed, magical book world. So, yes, two men, as I guess potential love interest in a woman who is trying to figure out herself, past traumas and things like that, get in the way. And I really do appreciate the true conversations and the realness of this book. That's why I gave it a 10 out of 10. Would definitely read it again. It was so good. Kept me hooked. She knows what she's doing. This wasn't a game. Now, my last book and recommendation for this week that I finished was Love Radio by Ebony Delay. Love Radio by Ebony Liddell. Now, what I loved about this book is it's giving all the YA cuteness with real world problems, okay? Real world problems. We have Prince, whose mother has multiple sclerosis? Why can't I say it? I'm going to put it up there. Multiple sclerosis? Anyway, she has this deteriorating disease that has her falling out, so he's constantly taking care of her. He's the man of the house because his mom is a single mom, so he's helping out with his little brother, making sure he has his stuff together while also running a very popular radio show at the local radio station where he gives advice to teenagers and adults alike about love and things like that. And what's funny is he can't find love himself until he meets Danielle. Danielle is very focused on her literature, her writing going forward, but she's having a writer's block because something has happened this past summer that she hasn't been talking about, and just what happens when you're in the wrong place in the wrong time, and things that can happen when things get out of hand, and how we deal with trauma on our own and moving on from those traumas to try to be with someone when you're assaulted. So it was so good, and the way that Prince was really trying to be there for Danny and just wanted to be around her because he saw her and was like, yeah, this is a girl I've been trying to go after. It's senior year, I might as well do it. And her understanding that you don't judge books by their covers, and that sometimes facing trauma head on is the best way to move forward and over it. Also, another 10 out of 10. So honestly, you can't go wrong with any of these three. They're all 10 out of 10 reads. They will keep you interested, and it's the books that you want, you're eating them up because it's so good. You don't want to put it down, right? So those are done. I finally got it. The Art of Loving You has finally come. It's finally come in. It's a part 2 of Natasha Bishop's love series, and what's funny is it's 12 a.m. so forgive me, I don't have any of the first titles in my head. I did not write them down, and I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Nope. Anyway, second book in the series, and we're getting a new love story of Danny and Micah, so see how this goes. I've read none of it. Honestly, I've been too turned up this Memorial Day weekend, but I will have that for you next week. I went to go see Boots Riley's I Love Boosters, which was really good. I went to the premiere and I was featured in the Chronicle and I was on the news. This was not a game. I felt like, I got mine. I went out there in all yellow. Yellow socks, yellow bandana, everything. I saw greens, I saw purples. Everybody was dressed to the nines. It was a beautiful premiere night, and I will definitely do it again. I did, go out with intention. They also let us boost clothes in the line, which was perfection. This weekend, I got to see my old college friends, and I went out to, get a little drinky drink. I hung out with my family. It's been a very good, high energy weekend. Is now I'm just slowly going down as we're about to re-enter the work week. But I can't leave you without a song of the week. Now, this song is from Brit Fayez, and I just listened to his album, and it's crazy because it's giving The Weeknd. it's giving The Weeknd to me. And I know that sounds crazy because I've never seen Brett Faiyaz not be toxic or have music where it's not like low key. He's talking about like cheating, or I really feel like this man's in a happy place. He didn't cut his hair, then got extra fine, like extra fine. Like, I'm sorry. Yes, I think he needed the haircut, but I also miss the hair because the afro. But anyway, the song of the week is The Other Side, or Other Side, by Brett Faiyaz. And I think it's refreshing to hear a new sound from him. And like I said, it is very upbeat. It gives me The Weeknd. And honestly, after watching the Michael Jackson movie, I feel like everything is so inspired by him just generationally. And this song kind of gives it with the. So I'll put a little snippet in there because, we don't want to get the copyrighted. We just want you to hear just a little snippet. Okay. But yes, that was the song of the week. Apologies again that it's not Monday, but happy Tuesday. Hope that you had a good day. First day back for a lot of people. If you were smart, you took the day off so you could have a 4-day weekend and then go back on Wednesday. Then you only got to be at work for 3 days for next year. But I hope it is a good week ahead. Happy reading, happy vibes, and I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, y'all.